This problem states that on one winter morning, the temperature was 8 degrees Celsius. By the afternoon, the temperature had decreased 10 degrees. So, the problem states that the temperature at the beginning was -8. So as soon as we type in -8 and go to the next open spot, notice that the thermometer is at 0, but as soon as we input the starting temperature, the thermometer drops down to -8 here. And then the change in temperature, the temperature had decreased 10 degrees, so that would be a change of -10 degrees. And as soon as we do that, we can see that the temperature is now down here at -18 degrees. So we input -18 degrees. In this problem, we can see that the temperature at the very beginning was -2 degrees, so we would input -2 here. By the afternoon, the temperature had increased 6 degrees, so that would mean there would be a change of 6 degrees. So if we input those values, a starting temperature of -2 degrees, the thermometer will then go from 0 down to -2. And once again, there was a change of an increase of 6 degrees, so that's a change of +6 degrees. And we can see right here that the ending temperature is found right there, which is a +4 degrees. So we input 4 degrees right here. In this problem, it states that a mountaineer is climbing on a cliff. She is 160 feet above the ground. So that would mean the starting elevation right here would be 160 feet. She then climbs down 200 feet, so that would mean that the elevation change would be -200. If she was climbing up, the change would be positive. So we input those values or use the sliders to get where we want to be. So starting at 160, the elevation change is -200, so you can see that the arrow went from 0 up to 160 right there. And then we have a change of -200, and you can see then that the mountaineer has gone below ground level down here, and you can see the ending elevation right there, which would be at -40, and you could click right there to see the equation as well, but the elevation would be -40 feet. In this problem, it says that on a cold winter day, the temperature in town A was -8 degrees. So town A down here would be -8 degrees. So right here is town A at -8. And town B is at -14. Right there at -14. And the question is, which town was warmer? Well, obviously, town A is warmer. And then the next question is, how many degrees was it warmer? Well, we could count simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is 6 degrees warmer. And from there, on the same day, it was about 10 degrees warmer in town C than it was in town B. So town C is 10 degrees warmer than it was in town B. So from here, if we go up 10 on the number line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right there is town C, 10 degrees warmer. And so town C would be at 2 degrees. So once again, town A was warmer by 6 degrees, and town C would be 2 degrees. In this problem, it states that on a cold winter day, the temperature in town A was negative 8 degrees. So town A is negative 8 degrees. There's town A. And town B was negative 15 degrees. So right here is town B. It says first of all, it says which town was colder on that day. Well, it should be obvious that town B was colder on that day since it was negative 15 degrees. And town A was only negative 8 degrees. The next question is for part B, how many degrees colder was it? Well, we can simply count if we can't tell by looking. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees colder. And then for part C, it says on that same day, it was 12 degrees warmer in town C than it was in town B. So we're comparing to town B here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There would be town C at negative 3 degrees. This problem states that on a cold winter day, the temperature in city A was negative 13 degrees. So right here is city A at negative 13 degrees. It says that city B was negative 7 degrees. So right here is city B. First question is, if city A reached a high temperature of 4 degrees on the day, by how much did the temperature rise throughout the day? So what is being stated here is that city A has a high temperature of 4 degrees right there. And the question is, how much did it rise throughout the day? So we're going from here all the way up to there. That would be a rise of 17 degrees. And then on the next day in city B, it was 4 degrees warmer than the previous day. So now what was the temperature in city B? So this was city A. City B is going to rise 4 degrees. 4 degrees warmer. We're on city B now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here would be city B, and the temperature then for there would be negative 3 degrees. In this problem, it states that on a cold winter day, the temperature in town A was negative 9 degrees. So right here is town A. It says temperature B was negative 5 degrees. So right here is town B. Which town was colder on that day? Well, clearly town A is the colder town. How many degrees was it colder? Well, we could count if we can't see it. The difference here is 4 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees difference there. Or how many degrees was it colder? It was 4 degrees colder. In this problem, it states that a fish is 10 feet below the surface of the ocean. Well, this would be considered the surface of the ocean at 0. So 10 feet below that would be right here. So this is the fish. And a seabird is 13 feet above the surface. So the seabird is up here at 13. And I guess I could have answered part A first. If the fish is 10 feet below the surface, that would be at a level of -10. The seabird is 13 feet above, so that would be 13, a positive 13. If the bird is directly above the fish, how far apart are they? Well, if you can't tell by looking, then it's simply a matter of counting. So from here to there, it's 10, and from there to there, it's another 13. So those two together mean they are 23 feet apart. So 23 feet apart.